Hey everybody, this is Grace. I'm going through the neighborhood, gonna go shopping, and it can't just be start off in a good thing. Okay, somebody had parked one of those trailers. I don't know, I wouldn't call it a trailer. It has the whole sides on all four sides on the back up, not just a little bitty thing. Anyway, they'd parked it on the curb, but part of it's kind of a little bit out, right across from other cars parked on the other side of the street. This is a neighborhood. This is not a big street. They're not big streets. So I had to squeeze between them. I had to come to a stop and sit there and evaluate, not practically a stop, evaluate how am I going to get in there without scratching up my SUV. It was that tight. Those were that close. When did people stop thinking about other people? Because now, and this is something I always say, if a like a fire truck, what do I call it? An ambulance, anything has to go through there, emergency vehicles would not be able to make it. Really, I cannot see how they would make it through there. So everybody, they would have to reroute, take time, this, that, the other. And one part of it, there is no way to reroute. There is no way to move away. So let me get over here. There's no way to move away. Through there. What am I saying? You get what I mean, right? Okay, this person right here thinks that they're going to speed through there, going about 60. And I'm tired of idiots. And that, my friends, is an idiot. Really. Seriously. Let me tailgate you. Like the people who tailgate through neighborhoods, oh my gosh. With kids around, right there by a school. Oh my goodness, right there by a park. Really? These are the idiots, and they should be shamed. I know people say all this, oh, you shouldn't shame people. Oh, no, that's a problem. When people do something, they should feel shame, guilt, shame, all that. No, you gotta, say, oh, poor baby, you did something wrong. What the crap? Really? Like, oh, that mean woman, she actually said you did something wrong. Oh, poor baby, poor baby. It's like the other day. Oh my God. I was in a grocery store, and this prissy young woman, she was prissy. Okay. And she saw me coming that direction, and she looked at me kind of with a smirk on her face. Well, let's just say, not kind of, she had a smirk on her face. And then she opened up these, refrigerated, she was in the refrigerated section. She opened up one of the doors. These things are refrigerated for a reason. She opens up the door, grabs what she wants, and leaves the door open and prisses, with that smirk on her face, prisses off. Well, I have no filters. So, you bet. I did comment, but she kept pressing off. Oh, she was all about her. Oh man, wow. The entitlement. Somebody's supposed to come back behind her and shut it. Well, I did, because that stuff in there. After she was away, that stuff in there, it needs to be refrigerated for a reason. So other people, there might be somebody who's, has health. Really, it could be anybody. Could develop some kind of health issue because that stuff is refrigerated for a reason, and it is enclosed by doors. Okay, for a reason. I don't think she can think, or she's just so entitled she doesn't have to think. That's how she sees it. Which brings me to another topic I was thinking about lately, and I might do more on this. And that is about, I just heard this term. I'm serious, I've never heard this term, and neither has Adam, but my degrees are in psychology and sociology, and I've never heard this term used, but I did the other day on the news, and I don't want to make this video about the news, so I'm going to skip all that. But was, let me see if I can remember, Neurodivergent. I've never heard it called that before. I looked it up, one word, and I'm like, okay, I've never heard it before. Like I say, I'm going to keep saying I never heard it before to make a point. Never heard it before. But, and I kind of figured it meant autistic on the spectrum. I mean, you know, more than autism is on the spectrum, but on the autism spectrum. There you go. But, okay, pardon me that I had the sniffles in the end of that. And that's okay, I better click it off. Yeah, I don't want to go down that line. Anyway, but yeah, I figured it was about autism and similar things. But I looked it up, and what I saw, they basically said like autism and people with ADHD. But it said that people that whatever is going on makes them think a different way. And I have joked over years, and when I was first on anything that was social media platform, that was a big one, it was back in the 1990s. And I think the beginning in 1990. And there was a big, hundreds of people. Back then that was a lot. You know, we were the dirty 4-letter word people. Geek. Yeah, put an S on the end. But I used to put on, there was a little section you could put something about yourself on this one thing that I was on in 1990. And I would sometimes put it as I'm differently wired, or then the next time I'd say I'm wired differently. And just people would crack up because they just, you know, I would put silly stuff. Back then I was more witty, you know, and kind of funny, you know, not real, but anyway, I was kind of witty, and I would just change things to make them kind of witty. And anyway, and that is how I've seen myself. But you like I, you know, telling Adam some of this story, because we were talking about the whole neurodivergent thing. But of course I would be wired differently wired, whatever, because I'm a genius. And as I've told him before, I said, there will be something different from, you know, I will be different from other people, or there's no such thing. There's no such need to be called anything other than average. And I went on and on about that. I had to go on and on. But yeah, you know, I mean, if a person is on the low end of the bell curve or the high end, they're not going to be exactly like those in the majority. You know, those who are average. Okay, the average. There are exceptions to rules, however you want to put it. These are people who deviate from the norm. Not all deviation from the norm is bad. Okay? So, I'm going to be different. You know, a lot, when I was studying in psychology, when I first learned, a lot of people first learn about you have to study the great minds. Not all, you know, it's not all. I haven't been to all. And things we learned about were about the people with the great minds, the people who were considered great minds, the geniuses. Really, they were geniuses. They still to this day, some of them. I mean, the newer ones. But they called them great minds. They're genius. Each one is a genius. And but in a different thing, not all of us. I'm not calling myself a great mind. I am a genius. Not all of us have the same focus. I joke and say that another joke of mine is to say that hold on, as usual, drive, allergies. Anyway, allergy attack. Anyway, I used to joke and say that my superpower is that I'm a BS detector. Seriously. I don't let people know that I'm sitting there understanding everything that they're doing. You know, we can't really know what truly motivates anybody, not even ourselves, our own little selves. But just, you know, whatever's on the surface, yeah, and sometimes deeper than that, you know. BS, well, I'm used to it. I've heard it all before. Sometimes. I'm seldom ever surprised. Even if I say I'm surprised, I'm not really. Okay, anyway, where was I? But I've been wanting to do videos about, you know, the good and the bad and the ugly of my health condition. You know, I've said this before, that it took a lot from me, and but it did give me a genius IQ. That's how I say it. And hey, it's about me. Oh my goodness, I think I'm going to take this butt from that direction. I don't like to park next to big trucks because they tend to be real close to the line, and getting in and out is problematic. So, anyway. Okay, so I went to Dollar Tree, bought a few things that I needed. You know, I have thought for many, many years the reason why things are sold at places like Dollar Tree is quite often something with the packaging or the labeling, stickers, whatever, is off. Okay, that's what I have noticed, you know, for all those years. You know, my original channel, that's what I started doing, and I celebrated my 10th year of having that channel just a few days, 4 days ago. Yeah, 4 days. 10 years, can you believe that? But I hardly ever use it anymore. I'll put up a video every blue moon, basically kind of like Dollar Tree stuff, shopping stuff. Anyway, but all these years, I don't know how many, I've thought that that's why things get sold at Dollar Tree. Something's not right. It's off. And I was in the store this time, and I got one of those, you know, they have some $5 items, and $3 items, and such also. And I got one, I've used them before. I have some already, and they're the laundry baskets that are plastic, but they're very flexible, and they're really good. I like them. But they have some new ones in stock. So, free Bible course. Okay, anyway. Lots of bumpy stuff here. So I bought a new one, and when I was checking out the sticker on it for the price, where they bring it up by the bar thing, it's on the bottom, and the woman, she's kind of funny, but I've seen her there a few times before. Anyway, she was saying, I don't understand why they do this. I just don't understand. They put it at the bottom of the thing, you know, inside. How am I going to use it? It's not like we have those wands, you know. Okay, allergies, man. Anyway, so she said that, and I said, you know, I've often thought that this, and I explained to her how I see it, the labeling and all that's off. And I don't think she caught one, but maybe she will later on. Because she did say, well, it happens so often. And I'm thinking, yeah. I mean, really, you know, usually reasons why stuff are sold, you know, and there used to be a 99 cents only store here. They closed it, I don't know, a year or so ago. And I could see that. They also sell produce. So, okay, I'm going to a specific place. Of course I am. After here, and I do not know which road it's on. Have to double back, because this stuff out here gets all confusing unless you have GPS on, and I don't have mine on. So it really is. There's another road that is so easy to get mixed up on it. I don't know anybody who hasn't at some point. I don't think it's this one. So I think maybe it's the next one. And one of these roads you go through, and it could be this one that. It's really confusing as you get down the road here. So, but no, I think it's back there. I think it's the one back from here. Might as well just give it a try. Okay, let's see how crazy this road goes. I think it's this one that is fairly insane. Well, I'm going to go straight on. There's L. Anyway, you get to figure it out with me. I gotta stop trying to stop. I need to stop speaking so fast. Oh my goodness, really? Oh my goodness. People say, you sure do talk fast for a Texan. And I usually end it with, that's because people love to interrupt me right in the middle of the sentence like that person just did. But, you gotta talk fast or you can't get it out because their lives are more interesting, you know? They're always more interesting. And they're usually the most boring people ever. I just, you know, as I say, you know, people say you can't trust the silent, you know, the quiet type. I say, yeah, that's because they have a whole lot more to hide. Or they just can't, you know, people just talk over them because they think their lives are so interesting. Anyway, enough negativity. Yeah, this is the road that just keeps going. I have not been on this road since, I really don't know how long. Really. You know, I do these food deliveries. You'd think I've been out here recently, but I haven't been. You know, speaking of, I basically have been to, by doing those, you know, I do it for health insurance purposes only, and I'm finding out more and more about this, that, like the one that I have, it seems like they're closing it or something. I don't even know the term to use. I saw so many reviews. People said so many different things. And even news channel picked up on it. But I'm going to have to switch. But anyway, I do these for that purpose, not for the money, but to prove to the government I can earn a certain amount, which is not happening so far because the weather, mainly, and my health. Well, there's a reason I'm doing it. Anyway, I think this is the road where I need to go up. But anyway, I have been to, as far as, you know, like the restaurants, calculating the restaurants, I've probably been to some of them more than once, but still, driving to and from different places, and to the homes to do these deliveries, over 1,000 since last year. Over 1,000. Those two combined, restaurants and the homes, or the stores, you know, restaurant stores. I hardly ever do stores, but yeah, 1,000 different places, and I am not going to remember all of them. Like I was talking about that road right there. I still don't think I've been down this road. And right there is a funeral. I think the funeral home back there somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna remember all of them. Nope. No way. I'm tired, and plus I'm on a medication that makes me tired. It can cause, and it does cause in me tiredness. That's how they put it, tiredness, and I believe it. When they bumped it up to 2 a day, I felt it. But you know, I probably, pretty certain that I felt it at 1, and I was doing that for a couple of years, maybe. Just 1, and then they bumped it to the second one. Tired. I often pause because I feel tired. Pause in my speech. That's the only thing that I really noticed it is my speech, and just feeling a little tired, a little sleepy, tired, like I've done some work. So, and they put a bridge up here. I took some photos of it the other day to show Adam, and we haven't really figured it out. It's not finished yet. You see that bridge up there? Okay, that place was closed on Sunday, Country Burger. Adam wanted to get some hamburgers for lunch, and so I'm now the Polo. I don't know if you call it Reggio or Regio. Polo Regio, I like to call it that. I like to pronounce it that way. I do. But over here, there's also another Dollar Tree that's open. It's the newer one that opened up. And I just don't tend to go there. It seems like quite often when I go there, something weird or just downright strange or even funny weird happens. A funny weird Like the time I got at a Dollar Tree here this is considered the well, it's not the greatest area around here, the whole county, I think, but I think they have a name for it, but you know, it's up to people's interpretation, really, this part. But in that parking lot, it was a woman. I'm thinking it was the elderly woman that was in the store. And when I went back in to try to find the person who blocked me in, she was driving a Mercedes, and for some reason it just hit me so funny. I'm blocked in by a Mercedes, nice Mercedes too, at a Dollar Tree in this neighborhood, and I don't know. But as it turned out, some young nurses, one of them real skinny, she got in and had to move it for me. Well, she moved it for me, I think. Her. Yeah, no, it was nice. Okay, where was I? Wow, that was zoomed in a little bit too much. But I got myself a different one than we usually get, and I have a feeling it's one that I'm gonna take off the shoe. It's hurting me. Gear. Alrighty now. It's not gonna be easy, of course. Anyway, there. Okay, I had to turn it off, didn't I? But I got myself a platter, and I think we used to get that before, but for some reason Adam started, when he would get it, he'd get a taco. I don't know what happened, why it changed, why we changed. But anyway, I got one, and I got myself that one, because just in case it wasn't good, the good one, and that way they had each had a good one, the one they liked, the tacos. Got all that right. Anyway, I looked at it real fast before I left. I said, it looks like mine is a good one, the better one of the good ones. You got all that right, like as if it matters. In the scheme of life, I can get real deep, you know, and all that. So I'm going through that little stage. It's not a little one, it's a long one. Actually, I don't think it's meant to be, but for me, questioning, you know, looking back on my life. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? You know? And for some reason, one of the funniest things I keep thinking about quite often is about my embarrassments. You know, how I embarrass myself somewhere along the way, and I do that. I have done that, and still do, I guess, quite often. And I have, believe it or not, you know, sometimes I get in deep subjects, but overall, I have a sense of humor. I find a lot of things just funny. I don't take them. I take life rather seriously, but at the same time, some of this stuff is just stuff. So what big deal? And you'll probably never see that person again, and it's still embarrassing, but you'll probably never see that person and all that. You know, I listen to those and I don't sweat it, you know, that whole thing. I don't think I've ever read any of those books, but you know, it's just how I am too. But you know, I remember I went through a stage, I think it was back around the year 2000, and I remember thinking that I was going through a phase or something of just seeing other people, their embarrassing moments, and I was like, I get a little embarrassed for them, but yeah, you know, it's not a big deal, man. So what? You embarrass yourself, you get humiliated, you whatever. So what? We all do it. Nobody is, you know, immune from making mistakes and all that. We all do it. So anyway, but for some reason right now I'm going back to all of them. It's one of those, you have to go through it kind of moments. And it just hits me every once in a while. Oh, I remember when I did that, and you know, like I'm in a similar situation. Oh, triggers that memory. Oh yeah, I did that before. How embarrassing. I love that commercial. You know which one I'm talking about? The two chickens standing side by side. Which came first, the cookie or the cookie dough? How embarrassing. I still want to know what they're going to make. I think it's going to be a Walmart neighborhood store. I think so. Okay, maybe I'm hoping so. Anyway, you know, what is your guess? Ours here at this store is, that one is $2.89. The racetrack is $2.83. And Walmart the other day was $2.75. Not Walmart, Sam's, but you know. Okay, anyway. What does that say on the back of that salt life, huh? Anyway, I don't know. It's okay. Anyway, so today I got out. I've been really wanting, you know, every day I go somewhere as it is, but because of the heat here in Texas, right now it's saying it's 96. It's 12:03, August 25th, 2024. But we're supposed to be in a cool down. It was supposed to be in the 90s, you know, not quite, you know, much lower, but of course every day has been 100. In fact, 2 days ago, was it? I think so. Yeah, I think so. It was. The feels like it was 103. The feels like was 114. 114. After this, everything's been cooking for so long. Yeah, all of August I worked one day. I mean, I gotta correct that. I worked more, but I only earned one day, and that was something like $15, almost $16, a few pennies shy of 16. Wow, you know, because it's just too hot. Between the hot, the heat, the people, you know, colleges and universities were still out for the summers. Kids went back to school around I think on the 13th. Teachers like the week before. So a lot of people were out, you know, that were out working too. So could have been, you know, doing that during the summer. Well, they got a lot of trees down in here since that's a nature preserve. So I don't think they're going to be cutting down the trees out there. Anything that was on the road, I think they've done, that would have been harmful on the road. But you know, we did have this thing called wind. Anyway, that's what knocked them down in the first place. That's just my opinion. You know, they may know what they're doing. I would think they do. And but it was from May 28th, I think. Yeah, we had 90 mile per hour wind gust. Was the highest I heard reported, but it was pretty bad. I'm lucky I slept through it for a change. Yeah, I would have been, my blood pressure probably would have been, you know. Anyway, I think that's enough. I wonder if that thing is still there. If it is, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's just see. That person put it right in the middle of the road. So. Okay, it kind of never fails that I'll get some kid. I don't know if that was a kid or not. I didn't even see it because that's the way the sun was. But quite often I'll get a kid in my video, and I don't put other people's kids in my video. So hopefully I'll remember to delete that clip. And often, there will be somebody tailgating me in this neighborhood. Can you believe that? You know, some idiot. Now, that's how I see them. Playing and something. Now you see that in front of me there? Can you see? Can you see? Yeah, think about that. Look at that. Look how little the room is to get through that. And they could have backed it up a little bit where they weren't parked right side by side with someone. Nope, but no. I mean, look. I am so close to that, and there's a part that sticks out. You know, this is totally wrong. What is it? Seriously. Well, I hope that person that's driving that gets through there, because that person's rather, I worry. I'll just say I worry. But their car is smaller. Yep, they made it through. Anyway, idiots. You know, I was raised, you don't use that word. You don't call anybody stupid or an idiot, and you don't tell anybody to shut up. How many of us did that? And I mean, they were serious where I grew up. you do not. I mean, it was banged into our brain. That or you got really bad punishment at both school and at home. I'm speaking of school especially. But, I mean, it took probably most of my life. I'm 61 before I actually would say something to those idiots. Really. But the idiot is an idiot. You do something like that, park like that, I don't care. Some people just say they're narcissistic. I say they're idiots. Anyway, wrap it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.